Okay, yeah. As I was saying, we're gonna be watching this. It's a two-part documentary, and then we're gonna talk about it.
We've been
Let's go.
investigating the hidden online world of incels.
I have not interacted with a female that is
Can you
not
guys hear
related to
it
me
now?
in over 3 years.
They're mostly young men, usually virgins, who can't find a romantic or sexual partner.
It's just me by
I
myself,
must
so
become more attractive. It's my last chance.
But on the extreme end, some incels are becoming more menacing.
There was quite a few women that I did want to break their nose so they would be ugly.
Where staunch incels blame women and attractive men for the reason why they're not in a relationship.
Around 60 terror attacks that can be linked to incel actors.
We wanted to know who these incels were, what they believed in, and just how extreme it could get. In this
Thank you
two-part
so much.
investigation, we
Can I
gain
call you
access to
Nova?
a world that is
Or
usually
Floofy?
closed off, especially to women. Before we start this story, we want to let you know that it contains violent and distressing content, including references to sexual violence and racist slurs. We're on our way to meet 5 incels who we've been chatting to online for about a month now. They usually chat to each other in forums and in servers, but today they're meeting up. And they're letting us join. One of them, who we'll call Tom, is well known in the community for building a server, which is kind of like an online chat room. He's agreed to meet us first at a hotel.
There
They're
is most
explaining
likely
to
not
us
a
what a
single
server is.
female
That's
on the
crazy.
planet that would be willing to date me.
How do you define what an incel is?
An incel is someone who is unable to get into a romantic relationship.
He's nervous to be on camera and has brought a mask with him to protect his identity.
Being an incel has become quite sensationalist. I am worried that openly identifying as such in public might affect job prospects.
What do you think when you see a woman on the street?
I don't feel like I live in the same society as her, and I think that every woman who encounters me on the street is inherently disgusted by me.
It's
I'm
crazy.
physically unattractive, I'm visibly autistic, and I have no experience speaking to females.
Tom casually browsed forums a
He
few years
doesn't
ago in
even
high
look
school.
that
Now he feels so
bad.
connected to the incel philosophy that he built his own
Obviously, I
chat
can't
room.
see his face,
Sometimes incels can say some edgy statements.
Can you give examples?
An edgy statement would be something like, I hate all women, all women, every woman is evil. Sometimes a small minority of users,
Has
when they're
anybody
lashing
seen
out in anger,
Adolescence on Netflix?
might make jokes about sexual violence. I wouldn't paint the server as something too serious. A lot of this is just people just
I have a
having like
server,
fun
by the
social
way,
interaction, fun banter.
Which is
In the 20 minutes
very
we spent
fun and
looking at the
not
chat,
weird.
we saw Nazi symbols, racial slurs, and unsurprisingly, hate towards women.
This is an example of
you
an
should join it.
incel and a female beefing with each other. The female said, "Y'all are boring," and this incel responded in anger.
You want to read the message?
No.
Oops, trying to open it.
This server has been taken down around 10 times, but those takedowns have not really had a dent on its popularity.
It's hard to know how many incels exist.
Jeez.
This server has been taken
The
down
people are
around
really-
10 times,
I'll clip your
but
rivals
those
being their arms,
takedowns
so
have
I
not
expect
really
some
had a
movement.
dent on
Oof.
its
I'll
popularity.
try.
It's hard to know how many incels exist, especially when they connect in private servers
not
like
very
this one. On the most popular forum, there
This
are
is
millions of
a
visits each year. By some
interesting
estimates, at the very
group
least,
of
there
people.
are thousands of dedicated members worldwide.
I do blame women to a significant extent for why we have so many men single, depressed, lonely. There may be definitely elements of misogyny in the community. It's only reactive to being unable to get with females. It would probably dissipate if a female showed interest in them. What body
It's so crazy to just have a whole
We later
life
catch up with the
here.
rest of the group in the park.
Hello. Good. Hello, female.
They're in their late teens and early 20s. Most of them haven't
That
given
is
us
too
their real
young.
names.
That
After a
is too
month of
young
speaking
to be-
online, they've agreed to meet with us in person to explain a bit more about who they are. They agree to chat over lunch on the condition that their faces are blurred.
Is anyone here dating?
No.
No.
I wouldn't be.
No.
If you're dating, then you're not an incel. So.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
It's that hard line?
If
If you
women-
can date, chances are you can have sex.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make you an incel.
Like if you're talking about going on dates, I think you can go on dates and be incel.
I'm more hardline in my definition.
Some allude to a common incel belief. They call it the black pill. It's the idea that women will only ever go for physically attractive men, that they've lost the genetic lottery, and their situation is hopeless.
Do your parents know that you're an incel?
No.
I have such a weird thing
On
to
my
say
dad's-
about this. Is like, doesn't this apply to both sides? Like, I mean, physical attraction matters on both sides, right? Like, even men. I think it matters more for men than it does for women.
It's like ask me when am I
So
going to
I
get a
don't really
girlfriend or
understand.
whatever. I feel like my mum knows I'm a loser.
Are you all at uni at the moment?
No, I'm working.
No, I'm at uni.
I'm studying, kind of, yeah.
It's mostly just STEM subjects.
Yeah, no incel's doing like social work or something.
And why do you think it's those kind of jobs?
You don't have to talk to people, you can just focus on ideas and stuff.
Yeah, I said I haven't spoken to an IRL Floyd in 3 years. And that's partially because I do a STEM degree. Like, I've never been paired with a female. Thank f***. If I did, I'd probably just walk out.
I wanted to know what direction the incel
That's
movement
crazy.
was headed
They
in.
they
I
know
sat
that
down with a
she's a woman,
researcher who
right?
spent 18 months looking at the largest
Yeah.
incel forum on the internet.
I've been
We
called
gathered
that
over 1 million
on
posts
one of my
just over
Instagram
a
reels,
year of activity
and I
on
didn't
the
even know
forum.
what it was, and
He
then I
found the
searched
number
it
of
up, and I
visits
was
were
like,
growing
oh.
slowly, and posts were getting more extreme. We
I
asked
just think
him
it's
to
funny they're like saying all of that to this
read some
woman
out.
as if
So
she's
this
not
one's
a
called
woman.
Women peak at 12. Who in their
What?
right mind would prefer a 22-year-old roastie to this? And they've got an image of a 12-year-old child. National
crazy.
Socialist Germany was the best country for incels. Women are designed to be raped. Males have a sufficient strength
What the
advantage,
fuck?
and this was probably our main method of procreating. It's all designed to make women seem like they're subhuman.
In the most popular forum, about half of its members are Americans and Brits, but there are also Australians in there too. The group we've spoken to have never expressed any of these thoughts to us. Callum says that people who end up in these spaces tend to be unemployed, have mental health vulnerabilities, and are insecure about their looks.
Many users claim to be neurodivergent. Unfortunately, the answers they're getting
That's
are
crazy.
that women are to blame for all this, and it just sort of breeds this toxic, violent rage towards women that's really dangerous.
But not all incels hate women and subscribe to the extreme end of things. Some go to great lengths to attract them.
I am making some gains.
For Raymond, he's hoping the gym is the answer. In YouTube videos, he talks about his journey to self-improvement, and so far he's had 500,000 views.
Hey guys, what's
What are
up?
the
Decline
posters in
here.
his room?
I am 30 and still alone.
We're about an hour out of Melbourne and meet Raymond as he heads to the gym.
I go to the gym 6 days a week. I want
6
to
days?
build
Yo,
a
he's
good
locked
amount
in.
of muscle and get lean and shredded. It seems that a lot of people have been successful with that. I still haven't had a successful
Hello, Sky.
one-on-one
I'm good. How are
encounter
you?
with a girl.
Why do you think you've not had much success with women?
Firstly, I'm a very small guy, like 6-foot guys are a lot more successful. I don't know how to talk to women or
Height.
anyone.
I don't think height matters as much as
Up until
people
now, most of the incels that we'd spoken to were virgins. But that's not the case with Raymond.
It has been some time since I had any sexual encounter that
What are
was
y'all
not
watching?
paid. I met some couple.
It's a documentary, but I can't say this word, and so I'm calling it Interesting People. Documentary of interesting people.
For threesomes, MMF threesomes, and I found
Whoa,
them not really
he's a wild-
fulfilling. Everybody has
Thank
those
you for the
same
follow,
desires
Saint.
to want to feel desired
Pariah?
and
Oh, what?
wanted and
Thank
loved.
you. Welcome.
I don't subscribe to a lot of the common views
That's
of,
odd that
say,
you
black
can't
pill
say that out
incels. Like,
Yeah,
not
there are.
everything is
There's
determined
been
by
like
your
a bunch
genes.
of new words that you can't say. Sorry, I'm not paying attention.
I don't subscribe to a lot of the common views of, say, black pill incels. Like, not everything is determined by your genes. These groups, I feel, have kind of hijacked the term.
Raymond is hoping to have changed his luck with women by his mid-30s.
If I haven't succeeded, I'll probably start focusing on other things, maybe just enjoying my life and just rushing.
this guy
as I say,
has-
I'll go back to my video games.
This guy
start
has a
watching
better
anime
mentality.
again, and maybe get a job.
Tom says he's no longer involved in running the server, but he's still given up on the idea of ever being in a relationship.
I'm
That's crazy.
rather
He's, like,
content now.
early
It's
20s.
just sort of like a huge like gaping hole in your life and fitting into society, I guess. Having bleak views affects my mental health and many other incels' mental health by making us like much
don't
less
actually
caring about
think- I don't
our
know. I feel
future
like these people are
prospects.
in their
the
heads.
community is really the only reason why I stay, and as the situation for young men continues to get worse, it is inevitable
Just
that
Work on
subgroups like
yourself,
incels
and
will
I'm
grow.
sure
In
you'll
the next
find a
part of our
partner.
investigation,
I don't know
we
if
look
it
at how
comes
much of this
off as
online
like I don't know what I'm talking
hate
about.
can
but-
spill out into the real world.
A man obsessed with guns.
With an online
Oh,
history
shit.
of misogyny.
Killed his mother and 4 others.
Having all these violent fantasies, constantly thinking about it, rape, violence, murder.
And their only goal with me was to acquire some kind of sexual encounter.
In pockets of the internet, there is a subset of men who call themselves incels, and we've been meeting with them.
Obviously, I had violent thoughts. You do me dirty, I will do you dirty.
They're mostly
Yo,
young
he's not
men.
even bad
I
looking.
had violent thoughts. You do me dirty, I will do you dirty.
I don't
They're
understand his
mostly young
hair,
men,
but
usually
get a good
virgins,
haircut.
who blame
He's
women
not-
and attractive
he's
guys
not
for why they aren't in a relationship
bad looking.
or having sex.
There is most likely not a single female on the planet that
What
would
the
be
hell?
willing to
Hi,
date me.
Jardani.
In a growing online
good,
movement,
how are
many
you?
buy into a hateful, misogynistic, and sometimes violent rhetoric.
I don't want to be in those spaces anymore. I don't want to see the things that they're saying.
So what happens when this online hate spills out into the real world?
How did this young man who seemed to have everything become a mass murderer?
Before we start this
watching
story, we want to let you know that it contains violent and distressing
Documentaries
content,
about
including references to sexual
this.
violence and racist
you can't
slurs.
you can't say them.
First
You
up,
can't
we're
say it
meeting an
on
incel who used to have
Twitch.
violent fantasies about women, but now no longer does.
Hi there.
Oh, so he's a
Nice to meet
recovered.
ya. I used to be a full-blown incel, hate women,
What were some of the worst thoughts you were thinking?
obviously I had
He's
violent
not
thoughts.
even bad
Um,
looking though.
I
That's the
always
funny
held
thing.
back,
These people are in their
real life
heads so
thoughts
much.
of like women that I did want to, rape as a teenager. There
Such
was
a
quite a
shame
few
they
women that
keep-
I
It's such a
did want to
shame they
break their
keep
nose
feeding
so
us
they
the
would be
same
ugly
crap lies.
and couldn't get a hot
Women
boyfriend.
and men need to.
Ryan, which is not his real
Coexist.
name,
Yeah.
was 15 when incels started emerging online.
Like it was everywhere, and I got pretty involved in it. All my friends got pretty involved in it.
The website he visited is now the biggest incel forum on the internet, where hatred
wow.
towards women is encouraged.
And while I regret having those thoughts, I don't blame myself. Obviously it's bad. I've recognized it's bad. I don't have those thoughts anymore. But all in all, I felt the way I felt for a reason. And I feel like,
Bro, you're
every
shooting
other incel
yourself
feels like
in
that
the
as
foot.
well.
Like,
Ryan says he's
You
always felt
are
like an outcast. In his teenage years, he
the
was bullied for his
problem.
height, and he says all of those bullies were women.
I was taught women are queens, respect women, all that stuff. I wasn't
Bullied for
allowed
his
to ever
height?
discuss how bad women could be. I have had a sexual partner before, but I've really struggled with expressing
for the
myself
lurk
to anybody
space.
at all.
Now 21, Ryan still identifies as an incel, but is trying to move away from a community that he calls toxic.
The majority opinion is kind of disgusting. I see the most foul shit of my life every day. The pedophilia, it's quite rampant. They can't get a girlfriend, so they're
Yeah, that
resorting
is space.
to whatever women they can find.
Ryan says he's seen other incels laugh at videos of people being dismembered,
Oof.
and sometimes even more.
There's a lot of them that just enjoy seeing people suffer. Like, it's stupid bitch, she got raped. She just deserved it, lol. It's really disgusting. They just sort of brush it to the side, like, oh, these are just satirical posts.
Bud,
It's like,
for
no,
sure.
They do feel that way.
Very strange.
Incels are mostly young men who believe women will only ever date the most attractive guys. It's a community fixated on its inability to find a partner.
I don't understand this narrative that they'll only date the most attractive. Like, attraction matters in both, both sides. Like, they're not gonna date a girl they find, like, quote unquote unattractive,
Or have sex. But when Ryan got a
I don't
girlfriend,
understand.
he was shunned.
You're a traitor, get out, you're not incel. Slowly over time realised that if I keep having this horrible toxic mindset, I'm never going to go anywhere in life.
Even though he's trying to leave
gets
the
it.
incel world, he still
Should
has some
try
strong
their
feelings.
best to get along, in my opinion. I agree. It's just social and psychological. It's just a social and psychological phenomenon.
Towards
Yeah, I
women.
feel like it's a
more
lot
just
of just
jealousy
being online
that
too
women
much.
sort of get dealt a little bit of an easier hand in life than men. Like, it's always expected for men, approach the girl, buy her stuff, shit like that. These days I feel pretty neutral about women. I don't hate them as violently as I used to.
And while Ryan hasn't acted on those violent thoughts, others have. Josh is a researcher who's been looking at the link between incels and violent terror attacks.
We know that they're on the increase internationally. In North America, 60 terror attacks that can be linked to incel actors.
One of those terror attacks was the infamous killing spree of Elliot Rodger.
Oh my.
7 people are dead and another 13 injured in what Californian police have called a premeditated mass murder.
Before his attack, he published a lengthy manifesto blaming women and attractive men for why he hadn't found a girlfriend. More recently, a British incel posted videos raging against his mother and his inability to attract
just
women.
as much.
After posting those
Which is
videos, he
interesting.
killed 5
So, like, if
people,
you're an attractive man,
including his mother.
You're not welcome.
The vast majority of
What if you're, like,
incels
attractive
are reasonably
man that has,
peaceable.
like,
in relation to attacks
no
carried out
dating
by incels in
experience?
Australia, there are no known
God, man, I look back when I was younger and spending hours in Discord chats, and now that I'm married, it felt childish. I hope the best for men out there.
attacks.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
he believes incels may be linked to other crimes.
This is just
Law enforcement aren't
it's
all
like an echo chamber, it's like echoing into a server full of people who are all like blindsided on this one thing, and their hate is like blindsiding them, and it's not real. Like, it's not how the real world
is attuned
works.
to what may constitute an incel terror attack. In many cases, they've been treated as murders rather than terror attacks by authorities.
On a number of occasions, Australia's National Intelligence Agency, ASIO, has called out incels as a potential threat to national security.
They are just violent extremist misogynists who believe women are the root of all of their problems, and they've killed people overseas. And we have people with those beliefs here in this
I spend the
country.
majority of my free time doing games and talking to friends. I'm not.
And a lot of the other younger girls
Same.
and boys in these communities were effectively groomed by the older people around us.
Yikes.
Although the majority of incels are men, Lani was one of the few women allowed into the community. She connected in online chat rooms.
In most of these community servers, you would find probably 2 to 5 women, and everyone knows who they are. I guess I've always felt pretty outcasted in school. I'd say that was one of the main reasons I stuck around, because you get that attention, and I didn't really get that outside of the internet.
Kitty.
Lani was 14 when she joined the incel community. But by 16, she wanted nothing to do with it.
There were a lot of older men weaseling their way into your close circle and getting you to open up, even get us to lie about our ages, and their only goal with me was to acquire some kind of relationship or sexual encounter. They go for younger women because they're typically more vulnerable.
And what kind of things would they tell you?
Like typical grooming things, phrases like, you're so mature for your age, or you're not like
We're
the other
super-
girls.
A lot of kids my
With
age
some
are
of the incels,
Have you guys seen Adolescence? I feel like
she
that's
had
a very
online
good
and real life connections.
Netflix
But
show
she says many of
that
them
kind of
used her.
sums
I experienced sextortion. My first experiences
watching.
were them taking photos or videos of me without my knowledge in very like compromising positions, and then threatening me with those things to post it online into the dark
don't
web,
get it, yo.
possibly, and have it circulate
Sometimes
for the
even
rest
all
of your
three
life.
dudes.
And
All
she says
three
what
do.
happened to her isn't even the worst of
I
what she
don't get it
saw
either.
inside the community.
I'm so glad I wasn't allowed on Discord until like I got way older, because
majority of the
what
guys
is
had some
this?
story where they had been accused of something, the most severe being rape.
Lani told me that other incels overseas had been arrested for violence and being with underage girls.
After the second or third one, I was like, okay, there is definitely a pattern here. I don't want to be in those spaces anymore.
Why
I
would
just
you
don't
join
wanna
to
be
begin
there. I
with?
don't want to
I'm
see
glad I didn't have
the
social
things
media.
that they're saying,
High
and I don't
five,
want to
Jar.
know about,
I'm
what's happening
also
in there.
glad that
There are hundreds, potentially tens of thousands of men in Australia who feel so marginalised from wider society that they need to gather in these communities to find some sort of connection with others.
Josh says it's difficult to engage with incels.
I guess that's
who are often
sad, but I
hidden
feel
away in
like
private.
you are your own biggest enemy, because you're in this very negative headspace that also just is very far removed from reality. Like,
But
how are you
online
going to live life believing in
communities.
There is
You're gonna get
a
nowhere.
vacuum of information for young men who spend a good chunk of their lives online.
It's human nature for some part of us to actually like having enemies, because when we blame others, we absolve ourselves of guilt and responsibility. Oh shit, Sky with the hard hitting. Yeah, sometimes humans do suck. Dude, that's bars, Sky. But I also feel like just like subscribing to this lifestyle is a choice you make, and it's really is an echo chamber. Like, if you go into a server full of people, you know, suffering and spreading just hate, and you're a hateful person, you're not gonna get any better.
Who are being hit with misogynistic material not only daily but hourly, by the minute.
It's also just like you become too attached, and you start like it starts, you know, growing into this just something that's like eating away at your life. That's what I think, at least. It's just like, get off the internet, stop screaming
now
into
that you're
the
trying to
echo
put some
chamber.
distance between yourself and the community, where does that leave you?
Like this guy,
Well,
see? There is hope for us all.
It's only up from here, I think.
That's
it's
why I
nothing
try
but
my best to see
toxicity
both
for the
sides
most
of an
part.
argument.
So I think I'm
It's
just
very
going to move
sad,
on
like,
from
can
it
you
completely.
like, you
Eventually,
choose to keep
I've-
doing it, so yeah, it's sad, but it's hard to pity them because of the harm they do to people. Yeah,
I think it'll take
exactly.
a few years.
Why do you think it'll take a few years?
It's just all the mental conditioning that I've experienced as a teenager.
That's
I've
also
got to
true.
sort of
I feel like
reverse
you
most of
end
that
up
thinking.
in these
So for someone who
situations when
hasn't
you're
reached
very
the same
young,
headspace as you, how do you think we can
and
engage
it ends
with
up
those
being
incels still in the
conditioning,
community?
you know? But that's
Take
why
them
you
seriously.
should
Treat
be
them
safe
like
on the
humans,
internet.
because that's what they've really sort of deep down always wanted.
Very vulnerable, yeah. That's why like I feel like when you're younger you have to be extra careful with social media. I mean, we should fight against the negative aspects of our own nature rather than embrace them and exist in an environment that encourages them to. Yeah, damn, Sky be hitting those bars. That is exactly what I've been trying to like say, but you just worded it way better than me.